You are now watching the Queen Chioma.
Yep, 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 yep.
So hey guys, I'm back with another video. So tonight's video is yet again another Chioma Chats video podcast edition. So by the title, we're going to be discussing why I feel this generation is insecure. So I feel as though I probably made some form of variation of this video topic in the past, but I feel like certain topics deserve expansion and updates when you see the issue either not getting better or things contributing to why the issue prolongs. I've been kind of on this journey of getting my version of perfect, and I feel as though that could mean physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual facets to all contribute to your interpretation of self-perfection. And I feel like it is fair that young women within this generation do take an approach to their physical appearance and their confidence journey because it does matter and it is real. So my thesis statement is pretty much this generation is insecure because we constantly feed our minds with imagery and expectations that are either unattainable, exaggerated, or impractical to said individual. And by that I mean we legitimately consume media that makes us feel like horse shit and then complain when we don't measure up to the imagery that we deem as ideal or perfect. So I just have one overall main talking point, so let's get right into this video. So the point is how social media pretty much ruins body image, adolescent mentality, and expectations of adulthood. I think if you are still following an abundance of Instagram girls, you're doing yourself a disservice unless you yourself exemplify that same exact lifestyle, physical appearance, and exclusivity as the girls on Instagram. Literally no shade, no tea, but I don't see how there are young women who strive to be an Instagram girl. Because in my opinion, not all that glitters is gold. Social media is a platform of augmented and falsified reality that is completely enabled by people's choices to only show you what they want you to see. So looking up to the lifestyle or physical appearance of a girl on the internet who is going to show you her purse collection, her shoe collection, the best wig, the happy parts of her relationship, her body that's been surgically enhanced, or imagery that has filters and the face app on it, it's really concerning on the behalf of so many young women within this generation. And you know I am harsh, but I do like to keep it so real because if I sat here and sugarcoated things, everyone would miss my point. I think I brought this up in the past about how I don't follow Instagram models on my personal page, but I did this because I just didn't want to be brainwashed into thinking there are things wrong with me that actually aren't wrong with me, if that makes sense. There are some girls who I just like and still follow, but to do so in an abundance, I can't bring myself to do it. Now the second half to that is I have a modeling agency named Queen Team Models. You guys should subscribe to our YouTube channel and follow us on Instagram. I pretty much follow every Instagram girl on there because I like to stay up to date with the trends and who and what is driving urban pop culture through fashion, hairstyles, you name it. And I don't get on that page and scroll that often because I usually get on there to communicate with potential clients and post pictures of my models. But the times that I have took a scroll, I'm literally sitting there like, damn, I can see why people get insecure about looking at these girls. Everyone looks so perfect down to their baby hairs, and it gives off the rhetoric that their life is lit and your life sucks. And I don't necessarily want to blame Instagram girls because they found a niche that works for themselves and made a lucrative platform work for them. And I don't think it's their responsibility to coddle the physical perception and mental stability of the everyday woman. Like, I can never hate on that. But I do think the everyday woman has to build the mental strength and understand real versus fake and reality versus the digital or virtual world. I do think that Instagram has us in a chokehold that restricts the development of adolescent mentality because if we're being real, there are so many people that are teenagers or in their early and mid 20s that think they're not doing enough with their lives because of the imagery we see on Instagram. Whether it's the recent college grad that somehow now has an AMG Mercedes-Benz truck, or the girl from high school who started a lash business and somehow has every designer bag in her closet. It makes so many people feel so inadequate, financially inferior, and overall for so many people it makes them feel like a failure. We now start to see mountains of envy and jealousy that are all stemming from unnecessary comparisons to strangers on the internet, and it's really not right. Social media has made so many people alter the realities of adulthood by making us think that if we haven't reached the pinnacle of success before the age of 30, that you've now failed at young adulthood, when traditionally things never were really like that. I mean, if you ask me, when our parents were growing up, it took a lot of hard work and time for them to reach a point in their life where they were comfortable, considered themselves successful, and were able to provide all of the basic necessities for themselves and their family. Nowadays, we are seeing girls who are 23 and have a 3-year-old child, but somehow they're living living in a penthouse somewhere in Atlanta with a Range Rover, and all we think she does is do hair. Whole time though, the reality is Shorty's really using her last to stunt for Instagram. Shorty's really using her stimulus check to buy a new purse. Shorty's really using her college refund check to buy a really expensive wig. Shorty's really using the majority of her work check to take a trip to Miami for no real celebration, but to be on a yacht driving the boat with her and her 6 homegirls who don't even really like her like that. Flex culture mixed with a generation of young people who are really mentally diminished, and then a sprinkle of how accessible we all are through one device like a cell phone. This is the reason why mental health is becoming more of an issue. It also is the reason why we can't fathom ourselves when we are at a low point, because we put unnecessary pressures on ourselves, not from our parents, not from sometimes personal expectations, but from strangers on the internet. I find it so crazy how there's still a large sector of young women, young black women in particular, who strive to impress strangers on the internet. People can't wait to get the latest pair of workout leggings that cinch on the ass crack, to take a picture at a gym that they don't even work out at, just to say that they have a trendy piece of clothing and look like an Instagram girl who promotes fitness. Like, I can see past a lot of that malarkey. There's so many girls I went to college with and I'm like, baby, you're really a bum, but look at how you're doing it for the gram. And there's no disrespect or shade, but it's more or less like, when you know that the glow up did not warrant all of these materialistic things and all of these forced attempts to prove you're better than what you are, you can literally see right past that. It's almost sad because you know that this person is mentally engulfed in a world that doesn't really exist. Like, social media is really a world that doesn't exist. It's just a world that has been created to seem like it exists. What I think needs to be done is not what the social media platforms are doing. They're trying to censor mean words and cuss words and censor certain types of speech, certain types of content. I mean, minimizing vulgarity is not what's going to help society, but people taking the time to actually come to reality with themselves and their mental psyche to understand that the pressure does not have to be all of what it is could definitely be a remedy. The solution is not to withdraw humans from having access to overt examples of content. The solution is simply having people go to therapy if needed and understand that there's nothing wrong with them as is. My parents always tell me how the 80s and the 90s were such a fun time without cell phones, and I honestly believe them. I do feel like cell phones have done more harm than they have done good, because although the benefits are being able to have access to people at an instantaneous speed and also entertainment, we've really dug ourselves into a hole of no return. We really allow these devices to have a screw in artificial reality that we believe to be true when it's not always all the way true. Of course, there are people who portray their authentic selves on the internet, but most of us, including myself, are only going to show you what they want you to see, and some people do take it to an extreme. The insecurity of so many women directly stems from the internet. Before, it just used to be that we look at these celebrities and these singers and these superstars or whatever, and we wanted to be the next Brandy or the next Raven Simone or the next Tyra Banks or whomever. But now, because everyday women are able to be celebrities and look glamorous and desirable, we think that the everyday woman is supposed to be perfect, and nobody's perfect. My only advice to y'all that are listening is to minimize your triggers and reevaluate your mentality. Follow a lot of those Instagram girls if you have to look at yourself in the mirror every day and not like what you see. Some people say that they like to look at their lives when that life may not even be better than yours. Financially, yes, but everything else is a normal everyday problem that we all have. We all fight with our friends sometimes. We all go on vacations. We all go to the hair salon. We all shake our asses in the club. There's nothing that most of those girls are doing that we can't do ourselves. They just have a bigger following and a bigger budget to show people that they do it. I don't know what makes some people think that a girl who you could have gone to high school with back in 2012 all of a sudden has this avant-garde, pretty pink pulsing, piping hot punishing, put it on a pedestal pussy that out-pops yours. Now, if your pussy pops severely, it's going to continue to pop severely. It's no hate to the girls who use Instagram as their means of income, influence, and relevance, because there are plenty of influencers that I find to be a positive or at least authentic representation for this generation. But there's so many people allowing their minds to be the devil's playground. It's scary that so many girls are so far gone and so deep into their insecurity that they don't understand how to get out of it. Of course, it's easier said than done. It takes time. It is a journey to get to confidence. But when you start to align yourself with what really matters to you and what makes sense in the real world, you'll definitely start to see the pressures fade and your confidence boost. So that is it for this video. Hope you all enjoyed. Please let me know your commentary on my commentary down below. Good news, you guys. My Instagram page has been reinstated. We are so back. You guys can follow my original account. My old account is going to be used for my music purposes. I'm so happy we were able to get this back. It's been 4 long, hard months, but hey, believe in it, believe in God, and pray, and look at what happens at the end of the day. Don't forget that Queen Chioma music will be dropping this month, December 2021. And don't forget to follow me on all of my other social media networks, and I will see you all in my next video. Bye, guys.
On the ranks, but you know I stay soberly. These bitches
shook, scary last day of October. Last nigga thought I was kidding, but it's no cap. He wishing it was Thursday, cause now he wanna throw back. And if you want smoke, where your dope at? And if you think you're running me too, give me 4 laps. Price going up, pay up, this ain't roll back. They call me Queen Chioma, trigger bud, baby boy, you know that. Queen Chioma, in the seas.